2X will become steady exhibit number 22. 2W will become steady exhibit number 23. 2B will become steady exhibit number 24. 2U will become steady exhibit number 25. 2T will become steady exhibit number 26. 2F will become steady exhibit number 27. 2R will become steady exhibit number 28. 2Q will become steady exhibit number 29. 2P will become steady exhibit number 30. 2O will become steady exhibit number 31. 2N will become steady exhibit number 32. Thank you.
We can look at some of what have just been admitted into evidence, beginning, ma'am, with State's Exhibit 21. Can you please describe to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what they are observing in this photograph?
This is the kitchen floor, and depicted in this photograph is basically an area rug. On top of the area rug is a fire, and there's casings depicted also in the picture.
Can you just point out the casing in particular? Okay, so these little tiny objects.
Yes.
All right. And is that up the top there, that would be the deceased?
Yes.
State's Exhibit number 20 in evidence. Got a closer shot of that same firearm.
Yes.
And the next series of exhibits we looked at appear to be of the kitchen countertop area, correct?
Yes.
States 32 in evidence. That will appear to be which area?
That is the kitchen area, the stove on the countertop.
And number 31 in evidence.
Another view of the top cabinets in the kitchen.
Appears to be higher up the microwave area.
Yes.
Number 30 in evidence.
It's another picture depicting the cabinets and the countertop and items on the countertop.
And are you taking these pictures simply to document what it looked like?
Yes.
29 in evidence.
Another view of the kitchen and the items on top of the countertop.
Okay, so you appear to be panning from right to left, basically. Is that correct?
Yes.
Number 28 in evidence.
I'm just moving along. There's another area location to include the sink.
27 in evidence.
Another view of the sink.
26 in evidence.
Items on the countertop near the sink.
25 in evidence.
This is a view of the items that are inside the sink.
And again, just documenting what everything was, how it looked in the kitchen, correct?
Yes.
24 in evidence.
Another picture depicting items inside the sink.
23 in evidence.
Basically, the same view of the corner of the kitchen.
And particularly with respect to these objects here that I'm pointing to, what do those appear to be, if you recall?
They appear to be a set of headphones.
Right, for your earbuds?
Yes.
And finally, 22 in evidence.
This is a picture depicting basically the breakfast window from the sink. You were standing on the sink to the dining area of the restaurant.
So this would be then looking into the next room, which would be the dining room.
Yes.
So would that be where you then proceeded next to continue your documentation, your photography of the scene?
Yes.
Right, so let's take a look at that segment if we could. Showing you states 2Y, 2Z, 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D, 3E, 3F, 3G for identification. Can you please take a look at that set and tell me if you recognize that? You recognize these as well?
Yes, sir.
And do these fairly and accurately depict the next documented set of photographs you took with respect to the dining room area of the residence?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves the aforementioned exhibits into evidence.
Defense?
No objection.
So moved.
3H will become state exhibit number 33. 3G will become state exhibit number 34. 3F will become state exhibit number 35. 3E will become state exhibit number 36. 3D will become state exhibit number 37. 3C will become state exhibit number 38. 3B will become state exhibit number 39. 3A will become state exhibit number 40. 2Z will become state exhibit number 41. And 2Y will become state exhibit number 42.
So looking at exhibit 42, an evidence officer. What is that depict?
The picture depicting for me standing in front of the sink, what's on the other side of the breakfast open.
And number 41 in evidence.
This is a picture depicting, basically, has a exiting the kitchen, what is in front of me. And it's basically the half bathroom, the staircase, a portion of the staircase. There's a dryer, and there's also, if you lower it, there's a surveillance camera on top of the floor.
And states 40 in evidence.
This is a picture depicting the items that were underneath the staircase and also the casing.
So this appears to be, or this was in fact a casing similar to the ones that were inside the kitchen surrounding the deceased.
Yes, this was a casing.
And number 39 in evidence would just be a close-up of that same casing.
Yes.
Number 38 in evidence.
That is a picture basically showing the dryer and the items that were on top of the dryer.
Number 37 in evidence. What is that?
That is me standing in the dining room corner, basically taking a view of what's on the other side of the breakfast opening and the chairs on the dining room.
So the kitchen would be over here to your right.
Yes.
Number 36 in evidence, officer. What would that now show us?
Basically, another view of the same that I just explained. That's the kitchen is there, and there's a dining table and breakfast area.
Number 35 in evidence.
This is a picture of me standing on the opposite side of the dining area, depicting the staircase which leads to the second floor.
Now, with regards to the second floor, do you remember how many bedrooms were up there?
There were 2 bedrooms, as I remember.
And looking at states 34 in evidence.
This is still the dining room area, and this is at the bottom. This is near the corner, and it's basically a computer desk and other items.
And finally, with this group, states 33 in evidence.
This is a different view, basically, of me looking towards the front door.
So on this view, where would the kitchen be?
The kitchen opening would be right here.
Very good. And did you then proceed upstairs at that point?
Yes, I did.
All right. So let's take a look at that. Well, this was not your first time going upstairs, right?
No, this was not my first time.
You had initially gone up there to, I believe you said, retrieve the DVRs.
I went upstairs to photograph the DVRs.
So, to show you as a group here states 3I, 3J, 3K, 3L, 3M, and 3N for identification. Can you please tell me to recognize those all?
Yes, sir.
And do these fairly and accurately depict your continuing tour of the house, documenting the scene, proceeding to the upstairs area?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves the aforementioned exhibits into evidence.
Any objection from the defense? So moved.
3L will become state exhibit number 43.
You said and is in your exhibit.
Yes. 3M will become state exhibit number 44. 3L will become state exhibit number 45. 3K will become state exhibit number 46. 3J will become state exhibit number 47. 3I will become state exhibit number 48.
Okay, officer, let's take a look at first number 48 in evidence. What do we see in that?
I'm basically standing at the bottom of the staircase, looking upward.
And what were these objects up here on the corner?
This is a surveillance camera that is placed on the top of the stairs on the wall.
And states 47 in evidence. Is that the same stairwell looking down there?
Yes, that's basically a picture of me halfway through the stairs, looking at what was behind me.
And states 46 in evidence.
This is a close-up of the camera that is at the top of the staircase.
Appears to be possibly two cameras there.
Yes.
And states 45 in evidence. What would that mean?
This is another picture of me from the top of the staircase looking down.
Now, just as far as the surveillance equipment here, do you have any knowledge or would you have any way of knowing whether these cameras, all of these cameras, or some of them were actually operable?
I did not know at the time, but I've learned that yes, they were.
Okay. Do you know which ones were operable, which ones weren't operable, or did you do any inspection of the DVRs in that regard?
No.
Okay. Now, let's go on into one of the bedrooms, please, number 44. Can you please explain what we're looking at here?
This is a picture from the door of the master bedroom.
Now, is this that same room we saw earlier that had the equipment inside of it?
Yes.
All right. So before we had seen that equipment, I believe, over here on this closet area, would that be correct?
Yes.
Finally, in this group that states, is it that same bed?
Yes.
So which direction would I be looking at? Again, assuming I'm standing at the doorway in this photograph.
I am taking a picture towards my left of the bedroom.
Very good. I actually want to go back downstairs because we forgot a few if we could. And I'm going to show you what have been marked as states 2G, 2F, 2E, and 2D for identification. Recognize those? Again, we're back downstairs.
Yes, sir.
And do these photographs, again, fairly and accurately depict more of the downstairs area that you took?
Yes.
Okay, and with particularity, what general objects were depicted in these photographs, these groups?
Those photographs are depicting the cameras that were on the first floor of the residence.
Your Honor, the state moves these into evidence.
Any objection from the defense? So evidence.
2G will become state exhibit number 49. 2F will become state exhibit number 50. 2E will become State Exhibit number 51. 2D will become State Exhibit number 52.
So looking first, Detective, at number 52 in evidence, now we're going to move it backwards. But can you please point out to the jury, in terms of orientation, again, where's the kitchen?
The kitchen opening is here towards the right.
Okay. And where are those cameras?
There is a camera positioned right here, and there's another camera positioned on the wall opposite the kitchen opening, near the back wall.
And looking at 52 in evidence, excuse me, 51 in evidence, pardon. That show the same cameras from a different angle slightly?
Yes.
And with respect to close-up of those two, 50 in evidence, that'd be the one pointing at the front doorway.
Yes, that's the image.
And 49 in evidence.
And that's the one in the hall.
So this will be right adjacent or nearest to the opening of the kitchen.
Across from the kitchen opening.
Okay, officer. I want to finish going over a little bit of the interior of the residence, the bedroom in particular that we looked at, that we left off at. So now we're going to take a look at what have been marked as States O, States P, States Q, States R, States S, States T, and States U for identification. Please take a look at that group and tell me if you recognize them.
Or Mr. Dunn, we have an identification number problem. You
Okay.
said states R, S, T, U, etc., but you didn't give a number. Usually there's a number in between, such as states 1R, states 2R, states 3R. I apologize.
3U, 3T, 3S, 3R, 3Q, 3P, and 3O.
Thank you, sir.
And you recognize these?
Yes.
And do these continue to depict the interior upstairs bedroom that you observed that afternoon
Yes, it.
or that evening? Your Honor, the state moves the aforementioned exhibits into evidence at this time.
Any objection? So moved.
3U will become State Exhibit number 53. 3T will become State Exhibit number 54. 3S will become State Exhibit number 55. 3R will become State Exhibit number 56. 3Q will become State Exhibit number 57. 3P will become State Exhibit number 58. 3O will become State Exhibit number 59.
Showing you Detective States 59 in evidence. That appears to look like the closet door, correct?
Yes, master bedroom closet.
And is this where those DVRs had been, now been removed?
Yes.
Looking at States 58 in evidence, from what side of the room or what side of the bed is this now showing?
That is basically the opposite side of the bedroom from where the closets are.
And States 57 in evidence.
That's basically depicting the floor of the bedroom.
Does it appear to have a lot of debris scattered about?
Yes.
And States 56 in evidence, what doorway are we looking at here?
We are looking from the master bedroom into the master bathroom door.
And again, all this debris was as you saw it, as you found it that day? States 55 in evidence.
This is a view from the opposite side of the closet towards depicting the door of the bedroom.
So this is where you enter, basically.
Yes.
States 54 in evidence. What does that show there?
This is a picture depicting the closet again, but now we're looking at a holster that was laying on the floor.
A gun holster.
Yes, a gun holster.
And states 53 in evidence. Same gun holster, a little closer up.
A closer picture of the same holster.
And finally, with regards to that bedroom, let's take a look at states 3B, 3W, and 3X for identification. You recognize those three photographs, officer?
Yes, sir.
And what area do these depict now?
These are photographs taken from inside the master bedroom back.
The bathroom door that we just saw.
Yes.
Okay, these fairly accurately depict how the bathroom appeared that evening. Your Honor, the state needs the aforementioned exhibits and evidence.
Thank you, Judge.
3X will become state exhibit number 60. 3W will become state exhibit number 61. And 3B will become state exhibit number 62.
B is in Victor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Officer, number 62 now in evidence.
That's basically a picture depicting the safe area of the bathroom.
And number 60 in evidence.
Another picture depicting the opposite end of the sink.
And 61 in evidence.
And that is the floor of the bathroom.
Now, with regard to all of these photographs of the bedroom, bathroom, master bedroom, master bathroom area, did you observe any weapons in plain view or in plain sight in the entire bedroom?
No.
You said there was a second bedroom?
Yes, there was a second.
And states 3Y for identification. Would that be that second bedroom there?
Yes.
Is that how it looked?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state would move 3Y of evidence.
The objection.
No.
State exhibit number 63.
And again, that's the bedroom that you referenced, the second bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. And it appeared to be somewhat messy. That's how you found it.
Yes.
And again, upon inspecting and looking at that bedroom, did you see or observe any weapons in obvious sight or plain view?
No, I did not.
Now let's move back downstairs to the kitchen. At that point, that would have been basically we've seen the whole house at that point.
Yes.
This time, officer, I'm going to show you 3Z, 4A, 4B, 4C, and 4D, 4E, 4F, 4G, and 4H for identification. We'll start with those.
Your Honor, I'd ask you to instruct this officer. They're not admitted into evidence, and she's flipping it, and it's visible to the jury, Judge.
I believe she's done with that process, but I'll ask the parties to please be very careful about that until those items are taken into evidence. Mr. Dunn, you may continue.
Thank you. Officer David Bell, the exhibits that I just announced in the record, you recognize these?
Yes.
Okay, do these exhibits all clearly and accurately depict the kitchen area of the residence, including the decedent, Ms. Alfonso?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves the aforementioned exhibits into evidence.
Any objection?
No.
So moved.
4H will become State Exhibit number 64. 4G will become State Exhibit number 65. 4F will become State Exhibit number 66. 4E will become State Exhibit number 67. 4D will become State Exhibit number 68. 4C will become State Exhibit number 69. 4B will become State Exhibit number 70. 4A will become State Exhibit number 71. 3Z will become State Exhibit number 72.
What was that last one?
3Z.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Deborah.
Looking at what has now been admitted into evidence as State's Exhibit number 72, officer, can you please tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what they are observing in this photograph?
Basically, you're looking at a photograph of the victim on the kitchen floor, and also a couple of the casings and the firearm that were near the victim's body.
State's 71 in evidence.
This is another view of the victim's body and also a casing that is closer to the victim's body.
That would be near her right arm.
Yes.
Now, at some point after you documented the scene as you found it, you place what are called evidence markers on the scene.
Yes.
And what are evidence markers and what purpose do they serve?
Evidence markers are just a numeric sequence that we use in order to identify items of evidence.
Showing you what has been admitted now to State's number 70 in evidence, can you tell what we're looking at here?
This is the casing that is in the hallway near the kitchen opening, and it's marker evidence number 1.
State's Exhibit 69 in evidence. A close-up of that same shell casing.
Yes.
State's number 68 in evidence. Can you please explain to the jury what we're looking at with regards to these markers?
This is basically the same, depicting the casings and the firearm and the items according to each item that were selected as evidence in this case.
Number 67 in evidence.
This is a picture depicting a close-up of the victim's face.
And did you notice any apparent damage to her shirt there?
Correct. It's also depicting what appeared to be projectile holes to her shirt.
Number 66 in evidence.
Just another view of the victim's body in the kitchen floor.
And was there blood or apparent blood stains observed on this stove area right adjacent to Ms. Alphon's home?
Yes, there was.
States 65 in evidence. Which part of her body are we seeing in that photograph?
This photograph is depicting her left hand and her left foot.
And did her left hand or left arm appear to have suffered any apparent injury or trauma?
There appeared to be an apparent projectile hole or injury to her left wrist.
And finally, with this group, number 64 in evidence.
This is a picture depicting the right side of her body and depicting the casing identified as marker number 6.
So each piece of item or each evidence, piece of evidence gets its own number. Is that correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time we're showing the witness exhibits 4I, 4J, 4K, 4L, 4M, 4N, and 4O for identification. Please take a look at that. Be careful not to show the jury all your search and proof.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, while she's reviewing those items, I will also remind you that all of these items that come in during the course of the trial will be given to you for further examination during deliberation.
Do you recognize these, officer?
Yes, sir.
And do these continue to depict the victim as she appeared with the evidence markers surrounding her, the various shell casings and firearm?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Do these all fairly and accurately depict how she appeared that evening?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves the aforementioned exhibits and evidence at this time.
Any objection? So moved.
4O becomes state exhibit number 73. 4N becomes state exhibit number 74. 4M will become state exhibit number 75. 4L will become state exhibit number 76. 4K will become state exhibit number 77. 4J will become state exhibit number 78. 4I will become state exhibit number 79.
So, officer, continuing on with our examination of this scene, beginning with number 79 now in evidence. Can you tell us which markers we're looking at there? Those are up.
We are looking at markers 2, 3, and 7.
And what is on each respective marker for the record?
Marker number 2 is depicting a casing. Marker number 3 is depicting a casing. Marker number 7 is depicting a fire.
And it states 78 in evidence.
This is marker number 4, which is depicting a casing. Marker number 5, which is also depicting a casing.
And 77.
This is a closer view of marker number 4 and number 5, which are two casings.
And 76 in evidence.
This is a close view of marker number 6, which is a casing.
This is the one by her right arm. And 75 now in evidence.
This is a closer picture of her shirt and what appeared to be projectile holes in the front of her shirt.
And 74 in evidence.
This is marker number 8, which is depicting the holster that was found on the master bedroom floor on the second floor.
So now we're back upstairs.
Yes.
And so 73 in evidence, same holster, closer view.
Correct.
Your Honor, could we have a sidebar?
Yes, ma'am. Is everybody please have a seat?
5U, 5T, 5S, 5R, 5Q, 5P, 5O, 5N, 5M, 5L, 5K, 5J, and 5I for identification. You recognize those, please. And what is depicted in this set of photographs, ma'am?
This is electronic equipment that was found inside the residence.
And was all this electronic equipment photographed and documented as you found it?
Yes.
So it's fairly accurate to depict how these various pieces of electronic equipment looked when you saw them that day.
Yes.
State moves the aforementioned exhibits of evidence.
Any objection? So moved.
5U will become state exhibit number 80. 5T will become state exhibit number 81. 5S will become state exhibit number 82. 5R will become state exhibit number 83. 5Q will become state exhibit number 84. 5P will become state exhibit number 85. 5O will become state exhibit number 86. 5N will become state exhibit number 87. 5M will become state exhibit number 88. 5L will become state exhibit number 89. 5K will become state exhibit number 90. 5J will become state exhibit number 91. 5I will become state exhibit number 92.
Getting officer 92 now in evidence as our first exhibit. What was that?
That's a photograph of an iPad.
Okay. And where was that exhibit located, do you recall?
I don't recall the exact location.
Exhibit 91 in evidence. What is that?
That is a property receipt.
And what are property receipts used for in your department?
Property receipts in my department are used to begin the chain of custody when we remove an item or we collect an item for others.
States 90 in evidence.
This is a picture of a cellular phone.
And states 89 in evidence.
A picture of another phone.
States 88 in evidence.
This is a picture depicting the back of a computer.
And states 87 in evidence. What's the purpose of trying to get that close up there?
That's to depict the serial number behind.
And same question with 86 in evidence. 86.
Another identifying number.
And states 85 in evidence. Different computer.
I don't know if the serial number is the same.
Okay.
It appears to be of a different tower.
And again, you take close-ups of the serial numbers of each tower in order to document the...
In order basically to document which number we're taking a picture of.
So 84 in evidence would be, again, a close-up of that serial number,
Yes,
as well as 83 in evidence, correct?
yes.
And 82 in evidence, what are we looking at there?
I can tell from this picture.
Take a look at the original.
I believe that this is a picture of the top of the tower.
And again, do these have identifying numbers on them, the top there?
They have identifying marks, yes.
So states exhibit 80 in evidence, would that be one of those identifying serial numbers or
Yes.
registration numbers?
Yes.
And finally, states 81 in evidence.
That's another identifying mark on the top.
Now, let's go back to the kitchen and the gun. Was that gun collected in evidence?
Yes, it was.
And before you collect evidence, you have to photograph it, empty it, check it, inspect it, etc.
We photograph and we document what is inside or what the condition of the firearm is.
So I'm going to show you now the firearm states 5V, 5W, 5X, 5Y for identification. Can you please tell us what we're looking at there, or if you recognize those, excuse me.
Yes, I do.
Okay. What do these photographs show?
These photographs show basic close-ups of the firearm that was found on the kitchen floor.
And did these photographs fairly aptly depict how the gun appeared after you took the clip out, emptied it, etc.?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves these exhibits into evidence.
Any objection?
Move those.
So moved.
5Z will become state exhibit number 93. 5Y will become state exhibit number 94. 5X will become state exhibit number 95. 5W will become state exhibit number 96. And 5D will become state exhibit number 97.
Taking a look at officer number 97 in evidence now. What is that there?
This is a photo depicting a close-up of the firearm that was found on the kitchen floor.
Okay, so you've now removed it from the floor.
Yes.
And states 96 in evidence. What are you documenting there? That closer review of the weapon.
Basically documenting the serial number that is on the firearm and the make and model of the firearm.
And can you tell us what the make, model, and serial number of this gun was, please?
Referring to the picture is a Thunder 380cc, and the serial number, I believe, is letter B 34048.
If you want to look at the original photo, I know my screen's a little fuzzy just to verify.
Yes.
States 95 in evidence. Same gun?
Yes, it's the opposite side of the firearm.
And can you tell us why what the significance of the gun being in this position with the barrel exposed like that?
The slide is back on the firearm.
What does that signify?
That the firearm is empty.
States exhibit 94 in evidence. What are we looking at there?
Actually, the slide back signifies that the chamber is empty. Here is a picture depicting the bottom of the gun, and here I'm trying to take a picture of showing that there's a magazine inserted inside the firearm.
And what is a magazine for those jurors who may not be familiar?
A magazine is basically the slide that holds the bullets inside the firearm.
So states 93 in evidence, would that be showing that magazine there?
Yes.
Right there on the right side?
Correct.
Or the left? Okay. And did this firearm have any projectiles loaded in it to your recollection?
No, it did not.
Now, some other areas of the kitchen I'd like to talk about. States 6A, 6B, and 6C for identification. Can you tell us if you recognize those?
Yes, sir.
actually add to that group 6G, 6H, 6I, and 6J for identification. Take a look at those as well. You recognize these?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do these continue to fair and accurately depict the kitchen and surrounding areas of the victim?
Yes.
And in particular, what object or significance were these group of photographs relating to?
They were relating to items that were inside the drawers of the kitchen.
Okay. And was there one item in particular that was focused on in this part?
Yes, a knife inside one of the drawers.
Your Honor, the state moves the photo to the exhibit and the evidence.
I would just like to review those to make sure that I know which ones to do. No objection.
So moved. With
6J will become state exhibit number 78. 6I will become state exhibit number 79. 6H will become state exhibit number 80. 6G will become state exhibit number 81. Oh, wait a minute.
right, the last number you said was 97.
That's right, I'm sorry.
That's very good.
6J will become state exhibit number 98. 6H will become state exhibit number 99. 6I will become state exhibit number 100. 6G will become state exhibit number 101. 6D will become state exhibit number 102. 6C will become state exhibit number 103. 6B will become state exhibit number 104. 6A will become state exhibit number 105.
States 105 and evidence officer.
This is a picture depicting the victim's body and basically the drawers that were previously closed in the kitchen.
Number 104 in evidence.
These are the contents of the kitchen drawers.
So that would be one drawer, that would be the drawer to the right as you're looking into the kitchen.
I don't know the exact location.
The 103, second drawer.
Basically depicting the addresses that we have.
Now, one of these items is marked as shown in State 102, which is now in evidence, correct?
Oh, yes.
With evidence number what?
Number 9.
Okay. Which item of evidence within that drawer were you designating as number 9?
One of the knives inside.
Showing you State 101 in evidence.
That would be correct.
And do you recall or do you know why one particular knife was focused on at some point during this investigation?
I don't know the exact reason of why it was focused on that particular knife.
Are you sometimes given directions on items to collect and you just sort of follow the instructions you're given by the detectives on scene?
Yes.
So continuing the other side of that knife, would that be 100 in evidence?
Yes.
Right. And 98 in evidence? Is your measuring knife there? About how long is that object?
The whole knife was approximately 12 inches long, and the blade appears to be about 6 inches.
And finally, in this group, number 99 in evidence.
It's depicting the brand of the knife. State 6E and 6F for identification. What do you recognize those now? Yes, I did.
What is depicted in those?
A countertop near the stove for the kitchen.
And there's an evidence marker number there?
Yes.
Okay, what was that signifying?
That was signifying a casing that was found on the countertop.
So this is an additional casing that we haven't seen before.
Yes.
And are these fair and accurate to depict how that casing appears and found it?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves these two exhibits of evidence.
You need a correction?
No.
So moved.
6F will become State Exhibit 106. 6E will become State Exhibit 107. Thank you.
So, officer, looking at 107 in evidence, can you point out to the jury where the casing was?
Right.
And so if I'm walking into the kitchen, this would be on what side?
On the right side of the kitchen.
The number 106 in evidence saying casing slightly closer view. Now, in addition to the firearm, all these casings are collected into evidence, correct?
Yes.
States 6K, 6L, and 6M for identification. You recognize those?
Yes, I did.
And can you tell us what we're looking at in those three photographs?
We are looking at a view of the victim's body once it had been moved from the original position where it was found.
And when it was removed from its original position, did an additional item of evidence become apparent?
Yes, a casing.
And was that given an evidence marker in these photographs?
Yes.
Which number?
Number 11.
Your Honor, the state moves these three exhibits of evidence.
Any objection?
No.
Thank you.
6M will become State Exhibit 108. 6L will become State Exhibit 109. 6K will become State Exhibit 110.
So looking first, officer, at what has been admitted as States 110 into evidence, it appears that Jennifer has now been moved. Would that be correct?
Yes.
And can you tell the jury exactly who has to arrive on the scene before a homicide could continue moved as a part of a murder investigation?
The medical staff.
Does the medical examiner respond to all homicide scenes as part of the Miami-Dade Police Department investigation?
Yes.
And before the medical examiner arrives on scene, do you, as the crime scene officer, move or manipulate the body in any way?
Judge, I'm going to object to leading. All these questions have been leading.
Sustained. No further questions, please.
Looking further now at States 109 in evidence, ma'am, can you tell us what we're looking at there?
A casing.
And was that casing visible prior to you moving Jennifer's body?
It was found after we moved the body.
And finally, States 108 in evidence.
That's basically what was used as a marker, which is number 11.
Is that what is this object here that was used as the marker?
That is one of the items that we use as items to collect and transport.
I want to show you a single photograph which has been marked as States 6N as in Nancy for identification. You recognize that?
Yes.
And what does that depict?
That is a kitchen cabinet behind the victim's body.
And what was the significance of that in terms of your investigation and why you documented that particular area of the cabinet?
I took a picture of the cabinet because it showed that a portion of the cabinet front was missing.
And this is how that cabinet in fact appeared on that day?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves 6N into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
So moved.
6M will become State Exhibit 111.
Showing you States of 111 in evidence. Can you tell us what we're looking at, please, ma'am?
You're looking at the lowered kitchen door that was behind.